Hello everyone, I'm Lisa and I am so excited to be here on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel and inviting you into my craft room. So today we're participating in the Multiplicity Crafts 10,000 YouTube subscribers hop. This is such an amazing milestone to reach here on YouTube, so congratulations to Multiplicity Crafts. We were excited that she asked us or invited us to sponsor and participate in the hop. Now, I do want to say real quick, this is a hashtag driven hop. So be sure you click the hashtag in the title down below to find all the videos participating in the hop. Now, the details for the hop are directly below. I'm not going to keep you long here because I want to get on over to the craft table and start creating our interactive cards. That's the theme of the hop, is interactive cards. We're going to create a gatefold card, and I'm going to share lots of tips and tricks with you in case you struggle with gatefolds. This will help you, or hopefully help make it a little bit easier for you. Now, I do want to say, stick around to the end if you want to, because I have an announcement I'm going to make at the end of the video, and I don't want you to miss out. Plus, I'm going to be sharing a second sample of this card that we're creating. So let's go ahead and head over to my craft table and start the card making process. So here in front of us on the left, I have the nested pierced egg die set from Whimsy. In the center, I have the Mix and Match neutral 6x6 paper pack. And on the right, we have Whimsy's new Easter sentiment stamp set. Now, what I didn't show you here in this shot is the new bunny butt die set. I am going to be using that in this video as well, and we'll talk about that as soon as we start die cutting the pieces. So to get started, I'm going to use the second to the largest egg from the nested pierced egg die set and a gray gingham paper from that gorgeous mixed neutrals paper pack. We're going to go ahead and run this through our die cutting machine, and then we're going to bring in that adorable bunny butts die set and go ahead and do some die cutting with a white cardstock. I'm also going to cut a few more layers of that second largest egg from that die set out of this white cardstock so that I can do some layering. We're going to be building a band to go around our gatefold card. When I use a gatefold card and I have a belly band around it, I like for all of my layers to be nice and thick and sturdy. So that's why I'm cutting extra layers of the egg and extra layers from this adorable bunny butt die set. So depending on the weight of the cardstock that you're using, depends on how many layers you want to cut. So I recommend if you're using an 80-pound cardstock, go ahead and do 3 layers. 110-pound cardstock, you should be good with 2 layers. Once you have all the layers cut from white cardstock, we're going to take the feet and we're going to run them through with the pink cardstock, just so we can get the little pads off of the bunny feet. I want to add that to my cute little white bunny feet. I think it'll be so cute. Now, if you don't have pink paper or you don't have the shade of pink that you want, just grab you a marker and color in whatever you want to do with that. So let's go ahead and start layering all of this up. You can see I'm using my Barely Art glue for this. I love this glue. I think it's an amazing glue for all things in the craft room. I use it for layering die cut pieces. I use it for adding things to my card bases. It's just a great all-purpose glue. Now, once I have all these layered, I'm going to set them aside and let them dry. Then once they dry, we'll come in and do a little bit of ink blending. So I'm using the new Distress Oxide ink Gloss Shadow. Great color. It's perfect for adding just a little bit of shadow along the bottom edge of this little bunny's butt. We're going to use it on his feet and on the part that's the fluffy part of his little tail. Now, what I originally wanted to do was use some little pom-poms on his tail, but I don't have any. So what I ended up doing is I'm going to actually use an action wobble to add that tail onto his the rest of him, and that's going to act as part of our interactive card. Now, while I finish attaching the action wobble to him, I wanted to let you know that to attach his feet to his body, I just used round foam adhesives and placed it on the top half of his feet and then just adhered it to the rest of his body. So that was real simple. Now that we have the bunny completely put together, we're just going to set him to the side and let him dry. we're going to go ahead and use our Barely Art glue to adhere the eggs together. Now, again, depending on the weight of the cardstock that you use, 2 to 3 layers will be fine. I'm doing 3 to include 1 layer of that patterned paper. So once I have these together and I've let them dry, I'm going to add some hemp twine to them. The vibe that this is going to have is going to be more like a modern farmhouse vibe to it. And I think that hemp twine brings in a natural or very organic feel to this. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap that twine around the egg several times. And then I'm just going to tie a knot in it on the left side of the egg because we're going to come in and we're going to add a tag with a little carrot on the tag here in just a few seconds. First, we're going to use round foam adhesives to go ahead and adhere the bunny over the twine. So to do that, like I said, I'm using round foam adhesives, 1 on the top of him, and then I'm going to use 2 on his feet. We need to double those up on his feet to make up for the difference in the height between his feet and the body of him. Next up, I'm going to do some die cutting actually off screen, but I want to show you the die sets that I'm using real quick. I'm using the Bookmark and Tags die set from Whimsy and the Build a Basket die set. So we're only using this tiny little tag from that Bookmark and Tags die set and then the little carrot from that Build a Basket die set. I wanted to add just one fun little extra touch to this, and I think this tag with a carrot on it just does the trick. Now, I am going to bring in, once I get the tag tied to the hemp twine, I am going to bring in my acrylic pens, an orange and a green, and I'm going to paint this carrot really quick and then glue it down on that tag. And I think it adds just such a fun little touch to this card. So while I glue this down, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about our card base because that's the next step in the process. The putting all these layers together and die cutting, that was the hardest part of this whole card. So we're going to start with a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch white cardstock. So it's going to be 5.5 inches by 11 inches. Now, one of the things I heard people say about gatefolds are the gates, where to score can be a little bit confusing sometimes. And if you always remember when you're doing a gatefold card, gates equal width of card, you will never struggle with gatefolds again. So what I mean is our card base is going to be 4.25 inches wide. Our gates need to equal 4.25 inches wide. Now, the really neat thing about remembering this tip is that you can score your gates wherever you want as long as they equal the width of your card. For this card, I'm going to keep it simple and I'm scoring at 2 1/8 on both sides because 2 1/8 and 2 1/8 is 4.25. But if I wanted to, I could do an offset gatefold and score at 2 1/4 and 2 inches. Or you could do 3 inches and 1 1/4 inches. It's completely up to you how you want to score your gates. So just always remember gates equal width of card and you will have no issues at all. So once I have my scores done, I'm just going to come in, meet these up in the center of the card and make sure that everything's lining up nice and neat. And I'm going to give it a good burnish with my bone folder and we're set to go. So I'm taking my card base to my splatter box and I'm using a black Zig cartoonist pen. And all I do is shake the little pen up, tap it along the side of my fingers, and it lays down beautiful splatters. I have these pens in black, silver, and white. You've probably seen me use a white one quite a bit, especially around the holidays, because it just gives beautiful splatters. So we're just going to set that aside and let it dry while we move on to our belly band. So I'm using Nina Desert Storm cardstock for my band. And you're going to see me go through the whole process of figuring out how long I need this to be and exactly where I need to make the score marks. But I'm actually going to make it really easy for you because I'm going to tell you that the band size needs to be 8 5/8 of an inch long and 2.5 inches high. We're going to make our first score mark at 2 1/8 of an inch. And then you're going to go ahead and make your second score mark at the 6 1/2 inch mark. Once you have all of that done, then you can just go ahead and fold it up, and it's going to fit around your card perfectly. You don't need to sit here doing all of the stuff that I'm doing right now, figuring it out. So once you have that done, then it's just a matter of how you want to continue on with your belly band. For me, and I know there are a couple of people who are going to get a giggle out of this, I decided I wanted to add a little bit of faux stitching on the top and the bottom of the front of my band. I just felt like it needed something. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that, and we're going to stamp the sentiment on the inside of our card. So I'm just folding back the gates on the card so that I can go ahead and place my card base in my Misty on my little sticky mat. And then I'm going to grab that sentiment from the new Whimsy Stamps Easter Sentiments stamp set. I love this stamp set. It has some beautiful little sayings in it, or sentiments in it for Easter. And I'm going to be using Bunny Kisses Easter Wishes on the inside of my card. I thought that was super cute with the outside of the card. So I'm going to center this up on the inside of the card, and then I'm going to stamp it using my favorite VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Again, I don't think you can match this ink for details. I just think it's one of the best black inks on the market. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this, and then I'm going to stamp that faux stitching on my belly band. It's an inside joke. The people who know me know I am not a fan of stitching. It's not my thing, but when I went to stamp the faux stitching on the belly band, I really laughed out loud because I thought, the few people who know me and know that I'm not a fan of the stitching, they're going to get a good kick out of this, right? So let's go ahead. I thought at first I was just going to put the belly band in my Misty and stamp it, but I found that once I grabbed the Get in Line stamp set from Whimsy, which is just nothing but like solid lines and stitching lines, it's a great stamp set to have because it's great for creating plaids. I decided that it was just as easy to lay that stitched stamp on my acrylic block, ink it up, and then stamp it down. So to wrap this card up, we need to close that band up so it'll slide up and down the card and come off in one piece. So I'm just using the same round foam adhesives that I used throughout the video to do this. Now, because I have that twine wrapped around my egg there, I wanted to be sure that I gave myself plenty of room, and that's why I decided to use the foam adhesives instead of using glue, so I could have the height that I needed between my paper and the hemp twine so it wouldn't cause any bulging or buckling in my paper. So I'm going to go ahead and center this up, and then we'll be done with this card. Now, I do have another sample I'm going to share with you shortly, and I'm going to come back on screen now so that we can talk about the details for the hop. And also, I do want to talk a little bit about the Whimsy Stamps Workshop Weekend Retreat. So here we are, we're back. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope those tips help you out later on when you're doing gatefolds. Sometimes they can be a little bit tricky. Now I have some notes over here to the side. You're going to see me look off to the side every once in a while just to make sure I'm getting all this information correct. First, let's talk about this adorable card right here. I love these carrots on this card. So all I did was use the angles on my mat to create a template so that I could just trace the template onto my pattern paper and then cut these out by hand. I just used my scissors to curve the top of the carrots off. And then I used Whimsy Stamps Wild Weeds die set to create the tops of my carrots. And I borrowed a couple of little sentiments from some stamp sets from Whimsy for the Farm Fresh 25 cents. I have all of that linked down below for you. You can click that link and check out all the products I used. Or you can head over to my blog and check out the information there as well. Now, here's what I'm excited to share with you. So Whimsy is having an in-person retreat in July, and the dates are July 14th through July 16th. Now, I've never been to a retreat ever, and I am super excited about it because I'm attending the retreat and I can't wait. I get to see my Whimsy friends and hopefully make new friends along the way, but I'm so excited. So if you want more information on the retreat and you want to come join us and have a lot of fun, then you're going to be able to find that link right below. You can also find out more information over on my blog if you want to click the link and head over there and check it out. Now, that link is going to take you to the Whimsy Stamps website, and there's going to be a place where you can go ahead and prepay for your ticket and get more information. And once you prepay for your ticket, you're going to get an invite to the private Facebook group, and we're getting ready to have a lot of fun in this Facebook group for the party. We're calling it a pre-party, okay? So we're going to be doing some fun things where you're going to be able to earn some extra tickets to win some prizes at the retreat, and just lots of fun things we're going to have in there. We're going to be talking about some sponsors and just fun things. So be sure, if you want to come and join us, we would love to have you. You check out that link below and head over to the Whimsy Stamps website and get signed up so you can join us for the pre-party in the Facebook group. So I appreciate you guys so much for sticking around and taking the time to watch the videos that we put out here on the Whimsy channel. It means a lot to us. I want to take a second to close out the video with another congratulations to Multiplicity Crafts for their achievement of 10,000 YouTube subscribers. That's quite the milestone to reach here on YouTube. We appreciate you having us join in, and we really enjoy sponsoring the event. So thank you for that. I also want to say you can find all the products I used in the video linked down below, or you can head over to my blog and check out the whole blog write-up on the event and all the things we covered in this video. I really do appreciate you guys so much. So real quick, let's hit on the sponsors in this video. For this event, we've had obviously Whimsy Stamps. This calls for Confetti, Kendra's Card Challenge, Tracy Shultz, and of course Multiplicity Crafts is part of the giveaway prizes here. So they'll be announcing the winners over on the Multiplicity site, so you're going to want to be sure and you check out over there. All the details for everything you need to know are directly below in the description box. We really do appreciate you all for taking the time to join us. We hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, please take care.